One day after a jury found Otis McKane guilty of killing Detective Benjamin Marconi, it now must decide whether McKane should spend the rest of his life in jail without the possibility of parole or get the death penalty.
I let Deputy Jarvis know to open the door because I had a feeling he was going to try and fight us.
Deputy Isidro Gonzalez was the first witness for the state in the punishment phase. He's the bailiff McKane hit while trying to escape yesterday after the verdict was read.
I've never had an issue with him.
Okay.
Gonzalez said he noticed McKane doing something unusual before the verdict was read.
The defendant was removing his tie, and then he started unbuttoning his shirt.
Then Gonzalez asked McKane to stand up.
I attempt to handcuff him, and then that's when he stands up, and then I just kind of see his elbow coming at me. At first, I didn't really feel it, but after, it hurt.
A video of the incident was also shown to the jury. McKane entered the court today wearing similar clothing as in previous days. His hands were not shackled after yesterday's incident. It took the jury just 30 minutes to find McKane guilty of capital murder yesterday after his attorneys called just one witness before making an unsuccessful appeal for the lesser charge of murder. The prosecution had more than 50 people testify. So far today, 2 people have testified. Before the trial began, legal experts told us this phase of the trial could last as long as the guilt and innocence phase, which lasted a little bit over 2 weeks.
San Antonio police say they got the call around 11 o'clock last night for a man with a long gun here at the La Posada Apartments on Roosevelt, threatening to shoot the mother of his 3-month-old baby. We have some video of that incident last night we want to show you guys. Officers say there were 4 people inside the apartment with the suspect, the woman and 3 children, ages 3 months to 15 years old. The call was for the man threatening to kill the mom of his child and himself. Police say when they got here, he showed himself to the windows of the apartment with the long rifle.
Came out at one point of the house, holding the 3-month-old in front of him.
Officers say the suspect went back inside the home, came back out again. Chief McManus tells us at some point there were officers surrounding him. The suspect turned towards them with a gun. 3 officers fired and the suspect was hit. He was transported by EMS to SAMC in critical condition. And San Antonio police say those 3 children, they are okay. But after the man was shot, the police officers went inside to investigate and discovered the mom had been killed. She's now dead. Of course, this is an investigation. Everything is still being looked into. Of course, we'll keep you guys updated as we learn more.
It's just not what we're used to. It's not normal.
Daniel Galvan and his family are not on vacation. Instead, the 4 of them, including their little dog, are all crammed into a small hotel room because a small electrical fire at Urbana Apartments created a power outage. And after an inspection, code enforcement identified 25 violations, including electrical hazards.
The city told me I had to move out.
And he's not alone. Dozens of renters, including senior citizens, were displaced back in June.
About 110 units is what we were told.
This Fairfield Inn and Suites has been home to at least some of the families displaced.
I would say maybe like 40 residents. Some of them are displaced at another hotel.
All of them are still required to pay rent. Property managers in turn have covered the majority of their hotel stays. The problem is, renters say they've been reportedly told they'd be able to move back into their apartments, only to have their stay at the hotel extended again and again. Because so much of the complex is vacant, renters are now worried about break-ins.
That's my personal belongings and I work very hard for it.
We checked. According to San Antonio police, there have been 6 burglaries reported at the complex since June. Displaced renters want to know when repairs will be made and if any of their out-of-pocket expenses will be reimbursed. We went to the front office to help get answers.
We've been trying to reach you guys.
We were eventually sent to the corporate office where we're waiting to hear exactly how many renters were displaced, how many have moved back in, and if they'll be issued any refunds.
We're being told by the manager there that we weren't going to get reimbursed anything.
Galvan wants out of the hotel and, given the problems here, out of his lease.
Being in a hotel, it's supposed to be for luxury, for fun, and this has been a nightmare for me and my family.
Since we've been involved, Galvan has successfully gotten out of that lease, and the city has helped him find a new place to live. In the meantime, city code enforcement working with property managers here to help them address those 25 code violations.